Greetings everyone. Welcome to the session today with Ahmad, Disruptive Media. So today we're going to be looking at growth and marketing. Ahmad will share his experience, his knowledge as well around this. Ahmad, karibu sana. We are fintech builders, fintech product builders, and a good number of the projects are quite early stage and trying to figure out their go-to market. And the aim for this program is to help the founders here understand what that looks like, and also create their playbooks for go-to-market. And we believe you're very primed to assist us with us. So karibu sana, Ahmad, and looking forward to learning a lot from you. Welcome.
Asante sana. Thank you so much, and lovely to be here. I wish I could see who I'm speaking to. I just see all cameras off. But it'd be nice to maybe get a quick look at the room to know who's here, if you don't mind. And then, yes, would love to know more about what you guys are working on. And I'd like it to be engaging, to be honest. I wouldn't want it to just be about talking like a lecture. I hate lectures. So it'd be nice to see how what you're doing, what challenges you're facing. I have a small presentation I put together specifically for you guys today, but it would be nice to know more of your challenges, what you're facing in terms of what your questions are, because I always tend to say when you're a builder or when you're an entrepreneur or a founder, you're expected to have all the skill sets in you. Whilst you'll find sometimes when you're a tech or a creative, you don't even know how to sell, and you cannot survive without selling, no matter what you do, because the bottom line of any success of your product or brand is how you sell. And that's one thing that you find not many people focus on. But hopefully today I will be able to give you some tips on how to go about it, and I can also maybe then answer any questions or queries or challenges you may face. I don't want to get into the detail of talking about who I am. I believe you all have seen my LinkedIn. I know you've spent some time to read about who I am. I've been in the industry for, this is my 19th year. I know I look very, very old, but I started young as well. And 19 years, things have changed. I don't know, uh, from the guys here in the room, have you ever used a fax machine in your life? Has anyone used a fax machine? Anyone? No? You have, Pablo? Interesting. Guess what? When I started my internship in 2004, I don't know where you guys were, I was sending artworks on a fax machine to clients. That's how technology has changed to today, where we quickly send on WhatsApp and get approvals instantly. So you find that if I had not adapted to what things are changing in the landscape of communication or marketing, I'd be out of this game a long time ago. But the fact that you've spent time to adapt to new technology, adapt to new platforms, adapt to new systems, it actually makes it easier to understand where the market is, where your clients are, where your product needs to show up. Long story short, I don't know what you guys are building, so I would love to hear one or two things that you guys are building before I put up the presentation, because whatever you tell me you're building might be the example I use across the full presentation. So maybe, I don't know, maybe if you can give me somebody to take us quickly around a name, what you're doing, what you're building. You don't need to go into details because of time as well, which I respect. And I don't want to bore you so much. So I actually just want to know what you guys are doing and hopefully jump into the presentation.
Awesome. Pablo, do you want to go?
Hi guys, hi Ahmed. Yes, I have used a fax. I used it once and I did not use it again, even when I had no alternative. I'm Pablo, CTO and co-founder of CarbonSeek. I'm currently building a platform, and actually, I'm building an ecosystem that is at the intersection of 4IR, climate change, and travel tech. The product for this sprint with Scroll is the travel tech part. I'm trying to leverage Skoll to help me with smart contracts, to help with payments, to help with savings, and to help with like travel insurance. So that's my current hustle. Platform is ready. I'm actually here to prepare the go to market. So tunaenda sokoni one way or the other.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
Love it. Good job.
Awesome. Fatuma, Fatuma, are you able to share what you're building?
Hi guys, I'm Fatuma. I'm building a Desk-Link, which is a community-owned Wi-Fi nodes, and we're using Scroll for payments.
Great. Then we have Collins. Karibu sana, Collins. So we're just sharing what each of us is building. Feel free also to put your camera on.
Thank you, Alex. So my name is Collins. I'm building BPESA. BPESA is a mobile money platform that allows users to be able to send money, receive money in any currency anywhere in the world. We also have, an agent infrastructure which allows users to be able to cash in, cash out with any physical agent, and agents are able to earn higher commissions than any existing platform in the market currently. Thank you.
Thank you, Collins. We have Dennis Kimadi.
Hello everyone. Thanks Matu for the introduction. I'm Dennis. I'm building a project called Expendi, and it's ideally financial management tool to help crypto natives be able to manage their finances. Think of it like a Revolut, but it has embedded smart contracts to help you with setting up your budgeting, set limits, be able to account for your expenses. I've also integrated a couple of DeFi protocols to help you earn yield and also be able to do targeted savings. So it's more or less a tool to be able to manage your financial life. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we have Crickson.
Hello, guys. I'm Joseph. So I'm creating a platform for developers, for a collaborative platform. Developers who start projects and leave them because of unseen circumstances. They just post the projects in the platform and other developers can revive them. Students can also try gain experience in their tech stack by checking on the platform for projects that use specific tech stack and continue and revive the projects. The
Thank you.
collaborative platform. Yeah.
Thank you, Crickson. Iano, welcome.
Thanks for this opportunity, Madu. Hello, team. My name is Yano. Initially, I was intending to play a
Sorry,
little market.
Iano. I don't know if it's just my side, but we're not able to hear you clearly. As Iano prepares, I think Elias, welcome.
Thank you. For me personally, I'm not a developer actually. I'm in the cybersec. I'm studying to be a cybersecurity analyst. Yeah, so I wanted to know more about how people are able to develop things so that when it reaches to my end, when it comes to penetration testing and threat intelligence, I'm able to know which areas that an attacker can be able to prompt from in a website or in an application. Yeah.
Okay, thank you and welcome. Dalmas, do you want to share what you're building?
Yes, though my camera is a little bit off. So my name is Dalmas. I'm currently building Aqua Protocol. It's a data counting and a verification protocol that's under digital privacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dalmas. Steve Mambo is part of BPESA. Then we have the rest of the guys are part of the team. We have Ochi, who does operations at Web3 Clubs. We have Nakeo, our developer relations. And we have Roslyn, who's in charge of community and comms. Iano, are you able to speak now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once again, thank you for this opportunity, my team. And initially, I intended to deploy a prediction market to scroll, but after interrogating the idea, I discovered that scroll is not like the best place to deploy the prediction market. Like, okay, it's not a bad place, but it's not the best place. And I did my research and had to find out some of the best projects that I can deploy on the chain. And I discovered that Scroll has a young decentralized exchange ecosystem. And so far, they don't have a major player. And even the players who are engaging in decentralized exchanges, they are not the dominant players, but they are the 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 token swaps, the liquidity pools and whatnot. But the zero knowledge virtual machine is good for secrecy and speed. And also there is a concept I was exploring for dark pools. So I'm going to deploy a decentralized exchange. I will call it Dexter. Thank you.
Awesome.
Good. Thank you so much. I think just listening to all of you, you have great ideas. Very modern, I'll be very honest. And I noticed most of you are focused a lot on financial. I think there's also insurance, if I'm not wrong. I don't know what the reason is because I've seen like there's about 2 or 3 have mentioned financial as well. It's not a bad space, but also it would be nice to know, and this will be setting the tone for our quick session today. As you have deployed or rather created these platforms that you've built, have you thought about revenue? Have you thought about how will I make money? A lot of people say, yes, you don't think about that, it comes later. But most times you find that later has already been thought about in the beginning. And it might not be launched or executed in the demo phase or in the trial phase or in the MVP stage. No, you find that most times they already know how it will sustain, because when you're sitting as a founder or as an entrepreneur or as a builder, you always want to seek for support, and the biggest support you look for is funding. I don't know if you guys have been funded yet or you're looking for funding. And when you're sitting with people who want to invest in your business, the one thing that would always make them want to know is, how will I get my money back? How are you going to grow the business? How are you going to make this a profitable thing? Are we doing charity work? Are we doing a product or a service that will generate revenue? And there's one interesting one that you've mentioned about project, developers project, where people don't complete their work and you just upload it for somebody else to pick it. I'd really be interested to know how you want to make money from that, because you find that in any business, if you're not making money, you're doing charity work, you're not in business. So I want to believe that we are in a mindset that we want to build products that would leave a lasting impression or impact, but also make money. Is that what we want to do? Yeah? Good. With a few who are nodding. So that's it. I would like to just quickly put up a presentation. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
I can. Yeah, good. Good. Let me find a way around this just a sec. Okay. So one thing I want to talk about today is my screen moving, by the way, just to be sure.
Yes, it is.
So I don't want to, how do I put it? I don't want us to just be about, I don't want to just preach. I want to enjoy this conversation. I'd like you to ask as many questions as possible. I want you to ask me, stop me, interrupt me, and whatnot. Is that okay? Yeah, good. Is it full screen or is it presenter view?
Yes, it's full screen.
Awesome, awesome. So, question. I always like talking or starting with a question. What do you think? Let's start with that. What do you think what do you think kills businesses in Kenya? Why do you think businesses in Kenya die? Anyone? Yes, Pablo.
Founder dynamics.
Okay, founder dynamics. Anyone else? We can keep going. Don't. Let's just keep it going. Keep it interactive because it's quite a few slides to go. Yes,
Yeah.
Roslyn.
So I think for me it would be lack of follow through or just giving up in the process due to several factors. But there's that aspect of just giving up.
Okay, okay. Yes, Steve, let's go.
I think I'll also add to what has been said, lack of market fit. So you've
Okay.
developed a product but has no market fit.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Ochi, I'll just take Ochi, then I can continue the next slide. Yes. You're on mute?
Yeah. I think some businesses underestimate the runway it takes to break even and become profitable. So they kind of die in the middle.
Very good. To be honest, let's be brutally honest. We call it, let's say, violence, for instance. Most Kenyan startups don't die because the idea was bad or die quietly because someone responsible never ever learned how to sell. They die because somebody didn't learn how to sell it. You know, we all sat here today when I asked you what are you doing? And I could tell your voice, you're very enthusiastic about what you're selling, what you're building. You're excited. You even, when I said, give me one line, none of you gave me one line. Most of you gave me more than one line. And it was good because it shows that we do love what we're doing. We love our pitch decks. We love incubators. We love demo days. But the program ends and you find most of the time it's just you, your laptop, your internet. And that's when you realize, how do I move this product? How do I make money? This platform that I've built that I want developers to continue completing a stalled project, how will I make money from it? And that's when you sit back and you start realizing, okay, the dynamics that are involved. In Kenya, most startups don't die because of bad ideas, no funding, no competition. They die because nobody, or rather the people responsible, they don't know how to sell them. And that's where you find we underestimate sales. Sales is one thing that gives a business, no matter your product, what you're building, the development you're doing, the platform, the asset, no matter what, if it's not generating you money, it's just an expensive hobby. That's how we like to position it. And you'll find that today, I want us to focus on the gap, which is not just theory, but real life formula, which I'll tell you the truth. I learned this in the hard way. I've learned this through experience. I have started businesses. I've failed miserably. I have succeeded in some. And I'll give you an example, which I'd love to chat about. But I want us to talk about from idea to exit. Now, I don't know if you know why I've written exit there, but just to save time, no business, no founder, co-founder, no investor will invest in a business that does not have an exit strategy. And between your idea to your exit, there's no holiday there. It's hard work, serious hard work. Have you ever tried something and then you say, biashara ni mbaya, things are thick? Has any one of you ever been in that position? Yes, no, hands show. Anyone? Can't see anyone. Yes. It's a fact. Okay? It's a fact that people sit back and say, hey, biashara ngumu. I cannot survive anymore, or I decided to close this thing down because it's not working. I'm sure we have all seen and been in that point, correct? But my question to you, and for those who have raised your hands, where does one stop and say, aki nimechoka, I'm tired? We are very quick to say biashara is bad, business is bad, but mostly, have we even done 10% of what needs to be done in any sales? And you'll know why I'm asking these questions, because in the coming slides, I'll also make you see the opportunities that can make you take your idea from an idea to exit with what kind of mindset you need. Today, you do not earn the right to say business is bad until you have knocked numerous doors, you have made countless calls, you have sent, name them, huge number of DMs, even to people who you don't even know what they do, just connect. Today, I give you a true story. I am presenting to you courtesy of a connection that I had on Instagram, who I have never spoken to on phone, but just engaged from what I do, the posts, what you do, learn a thing or two. And here we are. How did this happen? It's not that somebody I know of met or engaged with, or a friend that I can say that this is somebody I've known for many years. You'll be surprised. And you find that showing up to the person, to the consumer, to the community, showing your presence, is something that you need to keep and constantly be doing. Now, let me tell you one secret. Fall in love with rejection. I know this for most guys who I'll relate this to flirting and to shooting your shot. I know these days even women shoot shots, but for you, for all of you here, fall in love with rejection. When one says no, go for 5. When 5 says no, go for 20. When 20 say no, go for 50. Push it, push it, push it, push it. Settling at, I boosted an ad or I posted a BTS on TikTok, or I did a demo video, or I spoke to one influencer. That's not effort. That's just crumbles. Those just breadcrumbs, you know? Put in the effort where you know you wake up, your job is to tell 20 people today. You put a target. I will tell 20 people today what I'm selling, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and I'll make even one person ask me a single question. If they say they're not interested, it's okay. Tomorrow, say 40. Don't say I'll only do 2. You actually increase. The more you're rejected, the more you increase the numbers. Now, I want to give you a real life example. Let's say you open a bakery, okay? And your bread is fresh. You have the best bakery in town. Really good stuff, eh? Every 2 hours, your bread smells amazing, crisp, crunchy, tasty, full of flavor, healthy, you know? But then your bakery is just somewhere at the back of some house, or a plot somewhere, no signage. Sorry? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah. So no signage, no noise. You just post one post on Instagram, you post a loaf of bread or a counter, and then you just sit there and wait. After 2 weeks, you're like, this thing is not working. I have bills to pay. People don't support small businesses. People are not downloading my app. You know, there's nothing that is working out. People do not actually know. Do people even know you exist? Like behind your own house compound with nothing, do you think people will know you exist? Or are you content with just that one order from the watchman? As a founder, as a developer, it is not just to bake bread. It's to walk out with your bread, which is your product, give samples, which is to give trials, let people test it, let people criticize it, stand outside places. That means visit exhibitions, visit networking places, speak to schools, hotels, supermarkets, speak to people who are relevant. If you're saying you have a platform, sorry, I'm just using this as an example because I really needed to know what example to pick on. If you're using an example of you're creating a platform that has incomplete projects, who would be the person to speak to? Developers, community developers, programmers, you know. And the flip side, which is a very tough platform, that's why I'm saying I'm really interested to know how you're going to make money, which will tell me when you come to the end, is you might speak to your developers, but then who uses that platform? It's not just the developers. You need customers who are interested in uplifting the completed product, or unless there's a way behind it. But my point is, show up, meet these people, speak to these people, and you get to a point people cannot ignore you. Have you ever seen that one YouTube ad that is so irritating, but you can't just forget it anymore because it's always been there? You know, there's always that repetition of it. Now that's just one platform. Now imagine showing up to your target audience, to your partners, to your stakeholders, and not taking rejection as your idea being bad, because there is no bad idea. I promise you, when Twitter was first pitched to whoever, they're like, that's a crappy thing. What is that? You know, when Facebook was first pitched, they didn't even know what it would end up being. When Uber pitched, I think you guys have watched the documentary on Uber. It was dismissed, you know. So don't fear rejection, because let me tell you one secret: no person is the arbiter of a good idea, because nobody can dictate how an idea will succeed or fail than you yourself. What are you going to offer to your target audience? What solution are you going to solve for the problem somebody is facing? And if you solve one person's problem, you're better off than the person who shouts the most and solves zero problems. Success is not just numbers, it's impact. It's solving problems for people whilst making money out of it, right? Now, this is one thing I said earlier. A good product sitting quietly is not a business. It's just a hobby with expenses. How many of us have built websites, apps, and they just sit there? We don't even take it anywhere. Why? Because it's just an expensive hobby. We'll say experience, but you'll be surprised. Go on YouTube today and search a day in a life of a tech developer or a day in launching an app in 24 hours. People are launching left, right, and center. Weird apps. I learned one launched a coffee app, a coffee shop locator app. Guess what? He got 10,000 downloads. And I was like, what? From what? To do what? Guess how he ended up making money? Listing coffee shops into that app to be sponsored, not to buy, no transactions, a locator app. So one shop decided, I'm going to start a specific coffee drink. Since this platform already has 10K plus users, I will pay this guy money to get people to come. And the business worked. It's on YouTube. The case study is on YouTube. And I'm like, they're just pushing products out there. And that's why it says, if it stays in the back room, it doesn't matter how good it is. Put it out there. Let people see. Think about it from a consumer point. What problem are you solving for the consumer? I came across this on LinkedIn. And I screenshotted this. I actually came across this, I think, 2 days ago or so. And when somebody wrote this online, I looked at it. I knew I was coming to meet you guys. By then, I was already informed. And I was like, I will actually present this to you. Sales is a one-night stand. Marketing, it's like you're dating, which means you need to put a lot of effort. It's a continuous affair. Branding is now the marriage, the real deal, you know? And sales is that direct, buy from me now. Pay, subscribe, let's exchange. I give you what you have, what you want. I have it. You have what I want, which is the money. A subscription could be a lead, whatever it is for you, considered as a conversion. Marketing is flirting, the talking, the testing, where you put the product out there, where you tell people that you actually doing what you're doing, and it's more like seducing them to like you. Branding is when people commit to you, even when there's another offer. Branding is more like, you're known. This guy, this brand, this person, this company, this developer, this platform, this app, this web does 1, 2, 3. And most of us, or you rather, are stuck only on the sales part. Buy now, get a discount, DM us for more this. You find a lot of brands. And if you guys follow me on Twitter or LinkedIn, I write this a lot. Relationship is forgotten. Storytelling is forgotten. And this gives the consumer no reason to be loyal. Today, we had Uber that came into the market in 2014 or 15 or 16 in Kenya. After Uber, how many apps do we have for hailing companies? Many. Like literally, I think there are more than 7 right now, right? But why is Uber known for what it's known for? By the way, Uber is the most expensive hailing services. We know that, right? And why is it expensive? Because it has decided that is my niche. I want people who value quality. So I'm going to ensure the drivers that are put there, their cars are good, they speak well. There's a story I have, and this is a real life story. There's a driver, when you guys, I don't know if you can, by the way, a tip, when you want to collect data, speak to the people on the ground. The guy in the car, the Uber guy that normally when I'd use, the kind of intel they have is insane. They have a lot of data. They'll tell you what has happened, who they carry, what they do, where's the most trips, the politicians. They'll tell you the stories of nightlife. They have a huge collection of stories. Back to my point. There was a time I was seated in an Uber and look at the power of brand, yeah, and look at the power of being consistent. So when we're talking, and I asked him about his phone had another notification, and the notification was about I think it was another customer trying to get hold of him through another app. So what these guys do is they use one device and they have all apps on. So when you use Uber, Bolt will just wait. So when they drop you, they'll expect from either Little for us, whatever. So I asked him, bossy, how does it work? Like, isn't it hard for you? And he told me it is, but unajua sengine lazima utafute, huwezi pata kila mahali, da. Then he mentioned, lakini wacha nikwambie kitu. Mi napendanga customers wa Uber. I'm like, kwa nini? Because customers wa Uber wananga shida. Hawa jamaa wanajua that Bolt is cheaper, lakini hawapendangi Bolt, wanapendanga Uber kwa sababu Uber is very clean, has positioned itself. Ukisheka gari yako safi, unaweza pata customer mzuri. Ukinyamaza kwa gari kama husumbui customer, unapata 5 stars, nini. Lakini customers wa Bolt, they are always complaining. They are cheapstick. They are always complaining. Kuja unichukue hapa, kwani hujaona map tunaenda wapi? Fuata hiyo pin, sijui nini. And it is the truth. I promise you, check any rider you use or driver you use with an Uber and a Bolt, be it the same guy, he will treat you differently. Why? Because Uber has made customer feel you're precious, and the fee is higher. All right. And when that is said and done, you find that the brand has been known that this is how it's actually done through the company's position, slowly taking it to the stakeholders, which is your driver, and to the customer. And I sat back and I thought, I'm like, by the way, it's true, because I like using you guys even if you're expensive, because I have an option of keep quiet in the car when I'm with you. Long story short, it's a brand. That is where Uber has differentiated itself. So if you want long-term growth and better valuation, when investors come knocking at your doors because of your platform that you've built, you cannot be a one-night stand person, correct? You need to be in your marriage. You need to be so deep into commitment that even a stakeholder knows this person has built this platform. So let's clean the confusion in less than 2 minutes, right? What is sales? Sales is turning interest into money. Sales is the last mile in language of tech. Sales is the exchange of money in hands. Sales is a clear target with clear numbers. If somebody is telling you, I do not do numbers, huyo jamaa anakudanganya. Because sales is numbers. Numbers can be anything, can be leads, can be email collections, can be the number of people you speak to. It can be any single thing. That is sales. And you find that if you don't define that, uko na shida. Secondly, marketing. Marketing is getting attention and interest. Have you seen how our politicians will do anything to be in the news, even say the most stupidest thing? Have you noticed that? That is marketing. They show their relevance. Do anything that is, okay, I'm not saying you become crazy like them, but find your spot, be relevant, and be out there. All the things you do to get people to notice you and consider you because you're a brand. Are we clear? Are we following? Are we there? Good. I can just see one thumbs up. Good. Branding. Who are you and why you matter? Your identity, your reputation, your promise. It's why somebody chooses you and stays. Why did the person choose Uber and stayed with Uber is because of how the reputation is, because of their promise, because of how they make the person feel. And now that comes under branding. And then we look at advertising. These are now paid ways to shout. When you pay to push a message, influencer, radio, TV, sponsored posts, billboards, run an ad, a signage, name it, collaboration, all those things that you do, those are paid ways to shout. That's called advertising. Then the last one is PR. Have you ever been in a room where people don't know you're there and then you just listen to what they're saying about you? Unasikia, huyu anakuanga na macho ya malenge huyo. Oh jamani, ananibo. Oh msee ananukanga mdomo. Have you ever heard that? If you have, I'll be worried. So the point is, for PR, it's what people say when you're not in the room. Right? The stories, the mentions, the perception, the cries, the features, the interviews, the reviews, the articles. You need to know which lever you're pulling at what time. And what are you saying so that people can continue remembering you for something and continue talking about you when you're not there. Posting alone is not a strategy. Are we following? We there? Yeah? I see some people yawning. Am I that boring? Good. Designers, developers, builders, entrepreneurs, we are very good when it comes to logos. We love logos. We always quick. I want to look like this. I want to have this color. I want this logo. But your logo is just a face. If the person behind it is useless, yawning, sleepy, doesn't go out to meet, doesn't sell the product with passion and effort of how much confidence they have, that logo will not save you. Your brand is the promise you make and you keep. It's how people feel when they deal with you. It's the behavior of how fast you respond. Have you ever heard how people say, okay, dealing with creatives and developers is a headache. They go AWOL, they don't respond, they're nowhere to be seen, they're nowhere to be heard. And did you guys see on Twitter recently the recent viral post that went out where an artist was commissioned the late Raila's image, and then somebody went on Twitter and said, this is a con, do not support. Did you guys see that? You did? Yeah. I would want you to spend time after this to go through my personal LinkedIn. And I did a post around that where I said, I do not blame the person. I do not blame the creative artist for what they're going through. Because somebody's like, do not give this person work. Only con man, I just deliver. I gave work, I paid, and it's gone missing. I don't blame the person. Why am I saying that? The problem with us as founders, entrepreneurs, business owners, we think that we can do everything. But there's one honesty you need to have as a business to save your brand is, what am I strong at and what am I weak at? 90% of creatives are the worst communicators. It's a fact. We are very poor in communicating. And 90% of tech developers, geeks, very poor in communication because there's a certain way the mind works that you're thinking in codes, you're thinking in bit-sized compartments that a normal consumer who wants the end product does not think like that. So when you're in such a situation, my advice to you here, the few of you that are here, my advice to you, find a partner, a team member, an employee, investor, or whoever that can take away your weakness. If your weakness is accounting, find somebody who's very good in accounting. If your weakness is communication, find somebody who's very good in communication. So that to a point where when someone hears your startup name, what is the one word of feeling you want in their mind? Are they reliable? Do you want to be sound? Do you want people to know you as reliable, trusted, amazing? That you need all the good things, correct? So always find that person. And I'm telling you this with truth, God, my witness, real life example. I have started different companies and disruptive. I learned from a mistake of a failed startup where I admitted my weakness is administrative work, accounting. I hate it. Sitting down to do a quotation, sipendi. But guess what? I got somebody who I gave shares to the business. That's your role. And guess what? Today, I get an inquiry. Only thing I need to do is just send a WhatsApp message. Send a quote for this, do this, do this, do this. The person now seeks a supplier, then goes out there, looks for who to give the business to, compares costs, prepares a proposition, and we give it to the client. So the screen that you have for you to maintain a good brand, it's that emotion, it's your behavior, it's a promise you're keeping. And no matter what you're building, insurance, financial, sending money around the world in any currency, a management tool, project completion tool, no matter what, your word, your promise, your behavior plays a huge role. So where do you start? You ask yourself, first steps of identity. And I want to be very cheeky here and say, for a broke startup, because you'll be like, hey, lakini kila kitu ni pesa. Let's say we want to go the simplest, easy way around. The 5 basics. Sorry. Your name doesn't need a pronunciation or a tutorial. Very simple, easy to pronounce. There's some who want to go very deeper in the meanings and words, which is okay, but then very easy to pronounce. One clear line. What you do, you deliver fresh meat, you deliver in 24 hours, you help landlords collect rent easily. We're a world-class tech-enabled solution platform. We don't want those stories. Simple, straight to the point. Your audience, who exactly are you serving? And don't say everyone. Pick your tribe, pick your niche. Identify who is your value. If your niche is a small percentage and you know you can grow from that small percentage, by all means, go for it. What's your promise? What is it that you're going to do better? What will you do so well that if you stop doing it, people will complain? Can you imagine today if has any one of you used Maidawa by any chance? No? Anyone? Yes, you have? Imagine if today my dawa stopped selling dawa. Just imagine that. Like, does it even make sense? And then simplicity. Go for consistent visual style. Just pick between 2 fonts, 1 font, 2 colors, maximum 3, but stick to 2. One way of showing maybe how are you going to show up in full color or 1 color. Stay consistent. Today, I don't know if you've reached a point where when you look at the green of KCB or Safaricom, you cannot get wrong. You cannot go wrong with it. This is Safaricom. This is Glovo. The orange is prominent, that those consistency didn't just happen. It was built over time. So just a few examples. The top one is a company I was involved in, still am. It's a meat brand. Then you have Uber, you look at it, it's simple, one, clear, crisp. Look at Little, crisp, simple, straight to the point. Guess what, guys? Little is a copied logo from the internet on Shutterstock. I kid you not. Go to the internet right now, download the logo, put it on Google search and search Shutterstock. It is a Shutterstock image. It is not even a designed logo. That is how weird this is. But guess what? You cannot take away Little from that. You see that, you see Little, right? Then we have the simple ones. The reason I put these ones are just simple ones that it's iconic in its own way. Of course, there are many. Then we have this thing of, I'm a startup. I started in 2022. Sijui, I am very passionate. I have been doing this. I started from the back of my mom's bedroom. Guys, nobody cares. I'll be honest with you. Those days of caring, nobody gives a hoot about it. Make the customer the hero. What stress are they in before you showed up? What are you going to solve for them? Are you delivery? My Dawa is a delivery platform which has Dawa, sells medicine, prescription, beauty products, name it, They are solving a problem. They're solving their story is not about medicines and prescription that they can deliver. It's about saving time, convenience. You can order something while you're driving home. By the time you get home, it's waiting for you. And you'll know that is one thing that people are today. But guys, how many chemists have I left from my office in Eden Square to my house, which I'm not telling you where? How many chemists do you think I've passed for me to sit in the comfort of my car and home using a MyDawa app to deliver for me at a certain time? Are you seeing what I'm trying to say? I've actually liked what they're doing because it's convenience they're selling to. So when you're pitching something, it's a structure that you need to look at is, what is the problem you're solving? Okay. Here's how people are suffering now. And this is what we have created. And this is how life will look after using our product. Keep that in mind. What are people going through right now? Imagine life without MyDawa. I'm just giving you as an example. We create MyDawa. Now imagine life after MyDawa. Identify what your platform will solve. All right? Now, when you're looking at that, you need to also look at who are you speaking to? What are you selling? Do not be a jack of all trades. I said it earlier, if your client base is a small number, focus on that small number. And focus on the number that will make people realize that you are giving them attention. Speak to the person as if they are one, And you focus on the person, not just the consumer, but also the product that you're selling. The product that you're selling. Now, the next slide. Have you all seen these businesses? Have you all seen these businesses? Anyone, not all, just any, at least one. Yeah? You guys sleeping? Good. I'll give you an example. Andrew is a friend of mine. He's someone we've known each other for quite some time. They didn't just come and say we sell everything. We have kitchen, we have meals, we have this, we have Italian, we have biryani. They came out and said one thing: we make the best Pakistani biryani. We'll deliver. Straight to the point. Correct? Little did not come and say we want everyone. They said we want corporates. They started with corporates, by the way. And they told corporates, we'll give you credit terms, we'll invoice you, we'll bill you, you pay us through an invoice. Peleka watu nyumbani, don't buy cars for your employees. Use little. And they perfected it. Steam energy drink, positioned for the quality moments, real boost, not trying to look like a copy paste of Red Bull and the Monsters and whatnot. And they picked their niche, university students, people of Java. I don't know if Dennis is one of them, but anyway, they picked a niche. Then if you look at Omo is simple. Wacha watoto wachafuke. That is good. Let them get dirty. Omo will sort the problem. Now ask yourself, what am I? What about you? What are you doing? Are you an everything platform? Or are you that one thing that people call without thinking? If I'm hungry, I'd call Eats, Uber Eats. As much as Bolt Food is there, as much as Glovo tried, I think failed or something, because they've made me believe good food, quality delivery, offers. Yes, I love offers still. You can still get them there. And if you asked your customer to describe you in one sentence, what do you wish they would say about you? Are you quick? Are you quality? Are you really good? Like today, I cannot imagine without two apps, Carrefour and MyDawa. They make my life so easy that I never realized. Believe you me, I haven't walked into the supermarket for God knows how long. Yeah. The other important thing, as politicians, as I say, stay relevant. But stay relevant on a very tiny budget, And in such, you find you don't need 10 million shillings, 100 million, 50 million, 3 million. You don't need all those for a billboard. All you need is just discipline. Pick one main channel where your customers actually live. And you'll be surprised. WhatsApp is even one of them. TikTok, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, but don't be everywhere at once. Pick one thing that you're good at. Today, I will tell you how I've divided my personal platforms. If you followed me on X and you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see these are two different people, or even on Instagram. Instagram, I'm very mellow, very soft. I have my nice hobby of photography. I like posting. Twitter, I'm lethal. By the way, if you follow me there, you'll be like, this guy is one of the most lethal guys because we try and exchange opinions. And LinkedIn is where now I'd be in the office in my nice desk seated speaking to a client. Why am I saying this? I chose between where am I going to be a consumer and where am I going to be a publisher. As a brand, pick where you're going to be. Today, it hurts me to see businesses trying to do TikTok videos of CEOs asking questions or being asked questions. I'm like, what the hell is this? How does this help the brand? Do that in your WhatsApp groups. Don't do that in companies in platforms where you're trying to grow a client base who will convert. So if you don't have a money problem, by the way, you have a consistency problem because WhatsApp doesn't need money. You can do that on WhatsApp. I have a cousin who has been selling mobile cases for almost 7 years. I don't even know if he's making money. Every morning he'll send a WhatsApp. This case available for Samsung X. This case available for OnePlus. This case available for iPhone. I've never bought. But today, if somebody told me I'm looking for Android case or something, he's the one guy I'll come to mind. And it's not costing him anything. But the fact he's done it for 7 years, I'm guessing he has made. Every week, a challenge to you guys, pick 2 to 3 posts, tips behind, like maybe some tips, what you're doing, what you're building, maybe some of the snippets, actual value that you're showing. Send 10 to 20 DMs, make 5 to 10 calls, have a small experiment, maybe do a small offer here, there, trial, do a collabo, collaborate with someone who maybe serves the same audience but different products. You can split costs. Like, try and experiment things. Don't try and perfect it. Trust me, even the biggest companies make the biggest mistakes. So the goal here is simple: not to be loud for 2 weeks then disappear. It's to be quiet, but not quiet, but to be subtle but present, right? Most of you don't, when you're looking at that, when you show up weekly, one core channel, be useful, like I mentioned, and don't compete alone. Like, try and work with somebody. Growth is not just vibes. Numbers must be respected. And if you're speaking to founders, investors, partners, one thing they will tell you is what are the numbers, you know? And one thing founders love saying is we want to grow, we want to be the best, we want to supply to the whole world. Today, somebody said it in the introduction. We do money exchanges or money transfers across the whole world in all currency, correct? So do you have a number? How many transactions are you doing? What's your target? You know, pick a target. I want to have I want to have three paying clients. Three paying clients of how much? 300K per month. Okay, now let's reverse engineering. So if you want to close three, which means you'll need to close 3 out of 10 serious, not 10 leads, which means you need at least 10 clients who have committed to you, which means 34 serious conversions, 30 conversations, which means for you to get 30 conversations, you need to have at least 100 to 150 leads who have tapped to you. Now ask yourself, per week, how many calls, emails, DMs, meetings, coffees, SMSs, WhatsApps are you sending, or are you connecting, or are you doing? And if you say you've done 2 in a week, my friend, hakuna mahali unaenda. You're going nowhere. If you're going to do 200, you will close 2 clients. Are you seeing the numbers? Are we following? So if your activity doesn't match your ambition, your growth is just a wish. Marketing does help sales a lot. A lot of us, you hate selling because you're calling people cold, hawana madharau, wananikatia simu, hawapendi kunisikiza, hawaelewi, blah, 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 blah. But if your marketing works, by the time you call someone, they've already seen you, what you do. Some have testimonials, some have heard of you, they've seen your face, they know your pricing top of mind. Like today, if somebody like, trying to think of someone like Clean Shelf. We know Clean Shelf supermarket. Have you seen it? Right? If Clean Shelf tried to throw you an offer or an ad, you would relate because you've seen them, correct? Now, imagine Clean Shelf wasn't there 5-10 years ago as they are today, correct? That has been gradual growth. So good marketing should warm people before the sales call. You've already put yourself out there. You've connected. So by the time you're talking to somebody, yeah, I've heard of you. I think I've heard of you. Are you the guys who, oh, okay, actually, all right, okay. I read about it in the paper. Okay, I saw somebody share this. Oh, interesting. That's the kind of conversations you want to have. Trust is very important. And of course, all that makes sealing the deal, making that closure very, very easy. What content, case studies, screenshots, demos can you push before you make that sale call is very important. And here I'm talking even about the investors, right? So one thing you need to keep in mind, my good young friends here, you cannot be a founder and shy and broke. Pick one. You know, many of us hide behind a laptop. We say, I'm introvert. I don't like posting. I don't like calling. I'm a geek, you know. But then don't also say you want to build a big business. Don't come and tell me I want to change the world. Don't come and tell me I want everyone around the world to exchange money with my platform. If you're all three, it cannot work. As a founder, especially the early age ones, which is you guys, you are your number one salesperson. Don't outsource that to an intern. No person to date can sell your brand of business more than you, because you know the difficulty, the passion, and the love that you have in growing that business. So my advice to you is love sales, love marketing. Get out there, and even you don't need to be perfect. Guys, go read about how the Nike logo was created. You'll be shocked. You don't have to dance on TikTok, but you must be willing to speak, sell, send a message. And if you want to try it out, if there's a crush you're having on Instagram today, send her that DM, send him that DM. Just do it. Maybe it might not go anywhere. Face that fear, face that rejection. Confidence grows with repetition. Make that call awkward. Let it be a lesson, you know? And I promise you, your 20th call, your 20th DM will be the better one. Your 100th one will be the most dangerous one. Your 200th one will make you unstoppable. And that's what you need to focus on. I have a question. On your way today, I assumed I would actually meet you guys in person. I don't like doing virtual ones, but anyway. Do you remember any billboard you saw today? Anyone? I'll request you to speak out. Don't just unmute, say, go back to mute. Yes, no.
On 17 billboard in the CBD.
You remember it?
Yes.
That's the last and first one you saw? The first or the last? Are you at home or at work? Where are you right now?
At work.
Okay. There's a billboard next to your building in the office, correct?
Yeah.
You know what it says?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
do.
It's
All
a
right.
white cap billboard.
Of course, it has to be a white cup billboard. Anyone else? It's very hard to remember the billboards that you see, correct? And if huge brands spending huge money, millions of shillings, are struggling for your attention, imagine you're a small startup in your laptop. Just picture that. So the game is not just to be visible. My advice, be memorable. Okay? Memorable, it means simple messaging, clear visual, and own an angle. Do you guys remember that Finebar ad? That animation comedy? Do you guys remember the JTL ad? No brand has managed to crack that as much as it was. By the way, it was so tackily done, but it's doing wonders. Right? And before you declare failure, have you really tried? When you feel like quitting, my advice is look at this list. If your answer to the most of this is no, then your startup has not failed. You have just stopped. Have you called at least 100 people in a week? Have you spoken to your users of your platform? Have you tested two to five different types of price offers? Have you knocked doors? Have you walked into offices? Have you stopped person on the stage and asked them, have you tried this platform? Can you try this platform? Let me know what you think. Have you showed up online weekly for the last 3 months? And if your answer is no, my friends, you have not tried. You have not failed. You have just parked your hobby. And I'm not saying you force a dead thing. Kuna wakati imefika imekataa. But sometimes ideas really don't just work. There are times to accept it and there are times to push harder. But most abundant before they're even tested properly. So before I leave, I want to give you a 90-day action plan. Take a screenshot. Clarify your brand. Set one main challenge and commit to it for weekly content. Define your target, whatever it is. It could even be, I want to get 2 subscriptions or 2 email addresses a day or a month or a year, whatever you choose. Try and do a partnership and speak to at least a minimum of real users, 20 a month. And at the end of the 90 days, you'll either have proof that this thing can grow or a very clear learnings to pivot. Both are wins. And I'll leave you with this. Your idea might be good, your product might be even greater. But the real question is, will you be brave enough to be and disciplined enough to sell it properly? Stop waiting to feel ready. Feel scared and move forward. Your idea is not the problem. Your fear of selling is the problem. Asanteni sana. Let's now have any questions. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. I guess I've taken a lot of your time.
Thank you, Ahmad. That was a proper masterclass. Guys, feel free to unmute and engage. Remember, you cannot be a shy founder.
I guess I
Okay,
could start. Okay, go ahead, Nikhil. I'll go next.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. It's this idea, I don't know how you would put it. For example, building a product. For example, in this case is exploring on how developers can start building on Bitcoin. But then the thing is, instead of like doing the whole marketing thing, we build a product and put it out there and like let people define what it is, and let people define what it's helping them do. Yeah, basically like letting people define what that product is. Like, what do you think about that?
See, that has a risk because you see, for like you used an example of, for example, Bitcoin. It's not like letting it decide. People are deciding the value of the product. But how it works is already there. I don't know if I'm making sense. That it didn't just happen. So we are not talking about the worth or the value of the product or the business. We're talking about the idea. So like somebody coming up with the Bitcoin is what we are now discussing. What are we coming up with? What my thoughts are about letting the market decide. As long as it covers your objective of why you're doing and your purpose of what you're doing, and it also covers your overheads in terms of you're comfortable with the returns, then I don't see, because it's like a stock market. It's the market that dictates the value of a stock, not the company. And what defines the value is how good the business is doing. So I think before we get to that stage, there's a stage we cannot ignore is what are we building? And then discuss the value. But if the market is open to pay more or pay less, it's either you're doing something really good or really bad. And depending on which side, you push it more. You push it more. I don't know if I've answered it properly.
Yeah, you have. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Ahmad, for the masterclass. And I think before I joined tech, I was in marketing. So this whole workshop sounded like a sermon for me. And I got my first deep dive in with a Japanese boss. So it was a mixture of culture shock and work ethic shock and what it actually takes to grow a brand. And I can share his X with you. It's called building public club. So it was all about building in public. And I remember some of the founders that would sign up. Someone would be like, "I quit my job, last year, and now I'm making 100K MRR, and I want to grow into this." Or someone would come and tell you, how they were traveling and they quit their job and started something else, and now they'd start very small. They'd have like a graph of $5 a month, $10 a month, all the way to 100. And that's when that's when I decided I also want to join tech, create a product of my own and quit marketing because I was like, it doesn't have money. It's tech that has money. And then I come and find out that these founders themselves cannot do anything without marketing and branding and sales. So I actually quite literally left a very lucrative career in chasing what I perceived was more lucrative. So yeah, I think for some of the founders that we've had here, someone like Expendi, Chiza, I think it's very easy to grow your numbers when you have a plan. I like what you talked about posting, because one of the things he would do is he would give the students template on this week, pick either you're talking about family, like something about family. Tomorrow it's something educational, but make sure you show up and you're building a community around it. So, and for the longest time, if you've known me, I keep saying about how, Nigerians are so aggressive. I want to be more like the Nigerians. But the truth is they have no fear. They are not scared of selling themselves. And then when you come to the Kenyan founders, we're a bit more reserved. We have this fear of perception. But the truth of the matter is, this is a business. You're growing your business, you need a strategy. And I really hope that we have that for the founders in this program, because in the long run, it's also going to be very easy to show any investor or even scroll itself when they're thinking about grants with numbers. So thank you so much, Ahmad, and looking forward to more interaction.
Yeah, Steve, go ahead.
Thank you, Ahmad, for the presentation. Quite good, and I resonate with actually almost everything that you are presenting. My question, and I think you halfway answered it when you're discussing and advising, especially for the new and young founders, that if you have a skill and you don't have probably sales skills, you consider getting somebody who's good at that. And now my question to you would be, and probably to advise the other founders, most of the time, and as you said, they are broke startups. We don't have the resources to go hire a guy who has, 10 years experience in sales to come and blow up what you've put together. So what skills would you advise our founders to be looking out for, considering they're still broke? But what kind of skills would they be looking out? Because I'll be very honest, I've done business for quite a while, met people claims to be salespeople, very nice, smooth talkers, but at the end of the day, guys are not able to deliver. So what skills would you advise for the founders to be looking out when they're thinking, if myself, I'm not good in sales, I'm looking for a sales guy to help me push this to the next level? What should I be looking out for? Thank you, Ahmad.
You need to look at somebody who loves your product or believes in your product like you do. You cannot get into somebody, you cannot sell something if you do not even believe in the product. The biggest problem is always not having the money, but there are many creative ways around it today. Number one is, if you are 100% owner of the business, offer equity. Tell the person, listen, let's have a deal. I'll give you 10% or 20%, or when we close the first sale, when you close the first sale, I'll give you X amount more than as a bonus, but let's aim for this. Like, be very transparent, honest with the person. Do not look like a con man or a woman seated saying we'll sell and make this huge business succeed, because they end up coming into this whole dream that you're selling to them, and then munangaliana during status, and you're like, what have we sold? How much have we made? It's not working out. I think manage expectations, be brutally honest. Me, I don't have money. I have an idea, and I know this idea, if I sell this or if we sell this, this is a money making, and the only way to make this is through 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you think you can solve that? Yes. Do you think you can bring in the business? Yes. Do you think you can be patient enough and be a partner into this journey with me so that we head to this direction together? And when we make it, this is the terms and conditions laid out in the contract, laid out in the legal format. Are you game? Yes. Guess what? Your headache has come out. You don't even need to sit there and wonder where's the business coming, because you've delegated that to somebody else. Now, whenever you're getting into a partnership, always have, or a shareholding, always have a shareholding agreement. Things are getting nasty out there. Friends become enemies. A lot of relationships end. Businesses collapse because of emotional intervention. Always keep things in writing. Get a lawyer, put everything in paper. If you don't have the money for the lawyer, look for a friend that is a lawyer and pick it up from there. Like, find a way around this whole concept of you need a team to win. You cannot do it alone. Today, I want you to use most common example, we all look at Elon Musk as the rich guy. But at what point do we see him working? He has an amazing team behind him. He has done his part. Today he sits there, tweets the whole day, gets into interviews, gets out, advises his skills, does really CEO stuff, business deals, partnerships, government licensing, all those things. That's where you should now aim to get. And there's one thing I learned, which, by the way, I'm also not doing very well at because of the same problem. So don't get me wrong. We are all in the same boat. The every day as an owner or a founder, always target the next day to reduce one responsibility of you to delegate. Like every day, your objective should be, what task am I delegating? And now that is a good business, because what ends up happening is when you start, you're doing everything. Then you hire an assistant, then you hire a reception, then you hire two techies, you hire a designer, you hire client service, you hire a business developer, you hire HR. Then you're not doing any of those. Now you have just sat there as a main person, understanding the business. You're now looking at reports. You're now looking at the vision. Build a vision, sell the vision to your team members, let them come on board, let them deliver. And if, by the way, the world has how many billion people? If one person is trying to not buy the idea, doesn't mean your business is bad. Steve, your idea will have a person who will buy into it, will believe into it. And if you want to read a real life story, look at how Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak met. Steve Wozniak doesn't know shit, doesn't know how to sell. And Steve Jobs doesn't even know how to build anything. He just knows how to sell. Those two came together. They did it. And look at where things are today. I hope that answers you, Steve.
Yes, it does, and thank you.
Fatuma, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Ahmad, for the very informative session. I actually had no idea the difference between marketing and branding and all that. So that was very important. Thank you. So my question is, how do you present your brand to appeal to both users and investors? I think what works with users, I don't know if it can. I think investors are just looking for like long-term potentials, and users are just, it's different. How do you keep the balance between appealing to users and investors as well? I don't know if making any sense.
Yeah, so,
that's
so that will not be your brand per se, because see, when you say brand, it's what do you stand for? Investors are interested in one thing: how are you making money? And if you tell them, I have a brand will make you 1 million shillings every month, they will want to know, what is it that you do, right? Mostly investors don't care about brand unless it's so huge that it's so good to be in a portfolio. They care about the money. Consumers don't care about your brand. They care about what are you solving for them. Now, when we say brand, is we give what we are doing an identity. We give it a name. We give it it's like tumevalisha nguo, and if you give it a nice aesthetic appeal, it's not just how it looks, it's what it does, what it solves, how it solves it. And investors, once they notice those things and they see value in it, they'll be interested. So I don't think you need to change your brand in any way for different audiences. I would say list what you represent, what you stand for, and then live by it. So if you say today, I'm going to create the best samosas in Kenya, for example, I'm hungry, forgive me. You want to create the best samosas in Kenya, focus on that. So when an investor comes on board, they'll be like, okay, Fatuma samosas are actually the best because they offer taste, culture, the spiciness. But the consumer will also be like, hey, me, I like this one samosa because they're really fresh and quickly delivered. What it does is you're living by your promise of what makes you unique in the noise that is out there, but you're not changing for a stakeholder. They know you for what you're doing. But the investor will say, she's actually making 100K a day. I want to invest. The consumer will be, hey, she delivers really fresh quality samosas. I want to buy. So you're not a different person. You're the same. It's just that you need to be clear from the beginning that this is my focus to make X amount of money, and I'm going to do that by impressing my customers, and this is what I'm going to do. The biggest mistake we end up doing is we focus on making investors happy and we forget our customers. By the way, you do not lose your customers. If today I had a meeting with one of my clients before this call, and one thing she told me, she's moved through 3 different companies in a span of I think 3-4 years. It's growth, but she's like, the reason why I keep calling you back, and I ended up being listed into this company she's moved to, is because of her. And she told me it's because of how you understand me. So if today I'm not the most creative person, Disruptive is not the most creative agency. We're a drop in the ocean in the bigger players out there. But we do a lot of work because we do work based on problems we want to solve. We don't do work because we want to trend. If I tell you some of the work we've done, you'll be shocked. Like Vaseline billboards done by us. Vim new campaign out there. If it's Vim, it's clean. That's done by us. Those TVCs you see of the influencer, what's her name for Vaseline on Citizen? That's all done by us. We don't go out there chest thumping about the work we've done. The cement companies, Mombasa Cement, Maidstone, MRM, most of these runs are all done in the agency, but we focus on client problems. So don't go thinking you must impress an investor. Impress an investor by building a solid business that you're so sure that that investor will say no because you have kept the customer happy, you have guaranteed growth, you have assured a community that you're going to build, and you've actually shown this person your brand will grow. You are out there to grow. You're not out there to, because once you change your focus, you'll start having problems, compromise, days, delivery issues, and one will lead to the other, then you've tarnished your brand. Today, what do we say about Bolt? The drivers are cheap, the drivers are smelly, the cars are stinking. Unaingia kwa gari, mtu hajalala 2 days because he's been sleeping in the car. And we don't want that. Hope that answers you, Fatuma.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Collins, go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Ahmad. Thank you for the presentation. So mine will be a quick one, just to give you a background of the product B-Pesa. So B-Pesa is a mobile money platform. So think M-Pesa, think Airtel Money. So in the setup that we are in, we are a startup trying to bring a different value. So a value that is not being given by the traditional mobile money systems. So think near zero transaction fees for agents, adding a shilling to whatever they are currently earning. So commissions, they're able to invest and earn yields. So bringing the power of Web3 blockchain and the convenience of traditional mobile money systems. So we are the bridge of both. So we have been in the market for the last 2 months. We have a couple of users. We've been doing more of research than actually marketing. But where we are positioned, we are actually fighting this whole big giant. Giving an example of Safaricom M-Pesa. You mentioned something about as a start we are broke. So we can't really finance and compete, at that level as much as we are providing value to the market. So my question would be, in terms of structuring, marketing for such a product, and what kind of growth KPIs should we be keen on, at least at the start, apart from just numbers and transactions? Is there, how can we position ourselves uniquely and not really put up a whole billboard? You can manage agents on the ground, but putting up a billboard at this point, I think, will be a bit tricky. We can leverage social media, TikTok, target the youth, the whole Gen Z movement, and such. So how can we position ourselves better from your point of view?
I think for you, Case, and congratulations on what you're building. It's, I think, a very good step, a bold one. So I wish you really, really well, and I hope it works.
Okay.
What I would work on is I'd focus on users. I'd focus on growing the numbers. You have a product that you're saying is going to be competing with big players. Focus on growing numbers, because what happens is you already have a database in your phone, nothing less than 100 contacts, correct?
Yeah,
Or
yes.
200. Try and get at least 50 of them to use your product. The 50 will convince the other 50 and grow it from there. But then while at it, try and look for investors who can help you grow it big. Look for investors who, there's a guy in Tanzania who has done it. Or is it Nala? Nala. I think it's called Nala. A guy called something. He's in Tanzania, Tanzania, and he got a huge funding. Today he's talking global, and it's similar to what you're doing, if I'm not wrong. I don't know if you know the guy. Do you know him?
No, I haven't interacted with them.
Yeah, no, you know him? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is Benjamin Fernandez.
Benjamin Fernandez, yes, yeah. Read about him. He's doing exactly what you're doing, and he started exactly how you're starting. So you'll be surprised. You have that's why I said you have something really good. And why I'm saying that is today, no one wants, everyone's thinking Safaricom, 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 Safaricom. If you go to read about a company in India called Glow Telecom, I think JLO, somewhere, I don't know. No, I'm talking of JLO. Anyway, read about this company came and fought multi-billion service providers who had their roots so deep. But you don't have the money that this guy has. But I would want you to think of the strategy that guy used, and how many people would want to get Safaricom out of the league today? Quite a lot. So you don't go for the full thing. Don't go for the whole company. Don't even go for the whole market. Just go for a percentage. Go for partner with people, banks, partner with investors, partner with PE firms who want to be in the financial sector, because most of these people want to have a portfolio in the finance business. They have money, they don't know what to do with it. So once you've found what you want to do, grow your numbers. Sit on the table and say, I already have a pilot, I have an MVP, we have 200 users and 20 active monthly users. I want to grow this number by 10 in 2 months and by 100 in X amount of time. You'll be surprised. But you need to start somewhere. Even if you get 5 people, show proof of concept. It's working.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so in terms of our numbers, we have at least 60 users, 68 users. So I think we have shown the value.
When you spoke, when I told you good job and stuff, you're on the right track. You just, you're 2 months old. Work on another 10 months with 0. You're actually on the right track.
Okay, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you everyone for your contribution. I'd like to call this session to a close and to thank Ahmad, Asante Sana, and also to let you guys know we'll be engaging Ahmad so we can have one-on-one sessions with some of the teams here. So there's some points Ahmad shared on what you need to do, maybe build your 90-day plan. So maybe you can have those fleshed out before you engage him. But we will be communicating on the logistics around that in the group. But thank you very much, Ahmad, for this. Thank you, Nyakio, for setting this up. Asante sana. Thank you, everyone who has contributed to this conversation. Have a good rest of your day and all the best with what we are all building. Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you so much, guys. All the best, and I wish you all the well. All shall be fine. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Go disrupt the world.